And we are back. Ooh, there's a lot of distortion there. We are. So
What you have distortion?
I have distortion. It sounds kind of cool. It sounds like I'm in a Black Sabbath audio tape or something.
How's that? Clear it
That's
up?
much better. Thank you. Frank, how are you, sir?
I am well. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. Sorry I couldn't make it last week. I got way late at work.
Quite all right.
But I'm sure you and Mark Breckbill had a fine time without me.
The show marches on.
Yes. Mark is no stranger to the radio microphone. And he's not scared either.
No, we had a delightful time. If you and our listeners, if you have a moment, you can do a listen back. Just go to YouTube and you type in WSTU 1450. The name of the show is Meet McBiz. Put in last week Wednesday's date, and that show will miraculously appear, and you can have some fun listening to that.
I bet Mark's a lot of fun to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
As are most of our guests. And
Yes.
most of our guests are scared when they come on, which I don't understand. But
No.
we try to tell our guests, look, we're just talking. We're just talking. So don't get all,
Right.
don't
Right.
worry about
Exactly.
the tens of people listening to us today.
Yes.
I think we've increased our radio show to tens of people.
Tens of people. That's right. You had even a lower number, didn't you?
We used to be fives. I think now we're up to the tens of people.
So we've doubled our.
I think we
listening.
have. I think it's a new year. We started a whole new thing. I think, people like Mark sort of helped us, do that. So.
Yeah.
But we have some news today. I guess everyone should know by now that our president was not convicted
Right.
during the impeachment trial, which was not a surprise to anybody, really.
Right.
They
Foregone
They
conclusion.
did not have the votes, but that was an interesting State of the Union last night. But
It was.
it was very interesting on many cards. But this is not a political show. This is a business show,
Right.
which we usually talk about cartoons and
We
old
can still
television
do-
shows.
Right. We will probably be reprising some of those conversations later in the show.
But
first
we should talk about our guests.
we want to introduce our very special guest today.
From Center State
Right.
Bank, currently,
Mm-hmm.
Amy and Randy,
Right.
and talk to us about banking stuff.
Oh, banking stuff. That's so exciting for the radio. You're going to increase your listenership. I don't even know. Maybe
Well,
up to 20.
We might.
The EMS folks, if the cars running off the road could greatly increase their business. No, but actually, you made banking sound pretty interesting this morning.
It was.
Oh, thank
I
you.
got a chance to help you with the presentation. My job for our listening audience, I got to hit the enter button so that the slides would change. And but it was really quite interesting.
Well, thank you very
Yes.
much. I was ill prepared. My clicker didn't work. So I was glad you stepped up.
Well,
And
I knew the solution.
You
Nobody
did,
can
yeah.
push buttons like Frank can push buttons.
I knew.
for sure. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love speaking in front of the group there.
Mhm.
Talked a lot about the bank and some products that we're offering, and also some of the big news that's been coming out recently with regard to the merger.
Hmm.
Center State Bank in 2021 will be known as South State Bank. We are merging with a bank of similar size up in Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina area. In
Hmm.
fact, there'll be no overlap at all outside of the Atlanta market. It'll all be one big $34 billion bank. To give you an idea,
Wow.
right now we're 17 billion. They're about 17 billion. We come together as a $34 billion bank. And we end up being the 8th largest bank headquartered in the Southeast. We end up as the 35th largest bank in the country. So it's an interesting climb.
Dynamic, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just to give you an idea, about 6 years ago, we were a $2 billion bank, and now we're talking 34 billion. So it's just you can kind of see how quickly everything has grown. Just over the last 6 years, everything has just expanded via the business that we've done, and then also through the mergers and acquisitions of other banks around the state. So, but we're really excited.
And it really shows the viability of the Southern market too.
Absolutely. These
Yeah,
are all
yeah.
really growing markets all over the Southeast. Who wouldn't want to come to a place where it's nice and warm?
Yep. The colder it gets up north, the more people move south.
There it is. Yeah.
So what else we got going on with the merger? Like when's that? You said 2021?
2021.
Okay.
And
So you're announcing this year, 2020,
yes.
but there's more to this than just I mean, there's got to be some moving parts, right?
All we do is just actually take one file cabinet. We take half of our files and half of their files. Just put it all in one. Mix it up.
Nice.
It'll be fine.
All right. It's like shuffling a deck of cards.
Exactly,
Okay.
Frank. You've
All
got
right.
it. It works. So they've got a great digital platform. They are head and shoulders above us with their digital platform, which we're really excited about. And the lending and the actual banking of the associations, that's the stuff that they like from us. So what we see is on the operations side, it's going to be a lot of South State people. From the credit perspective, it's going to be more Center State. So John Corbett, who's the CEO of our company, he's going to be head of the new company as it is. We're keeping a lot of our credit guys. They're keeping a lot of their operations people. It's really exciting. We're ready for this. So
Nice.
That's good. Well, a lot of times when the banks merge, I remember when Barnett, came and took over everybody, a lot of people got repositioned in their employment. Is that going to happen a lot in your thing, or because you're doing you're concentrating on one aspect of it, and they're concentrating on another? It's going to be maybe not so many people get.
We really should see nobody getting displaced from our local area at all, because there's just no overlap. They'll keep their people in operations there. We'll keep all our people here, and it'll all be headquartered out of Winter Haven. And one of the great things about all this is the Center State model has been to leave the decision making to the local people. So we know our market. It's not like there's some decisions coming out of Atlanta and they don't understand the Stewart market.
Right.
It's
one size fits all does not work.
No, and especially not in a place like Martin County. Yeah. It's very unique, and Center State had the vision to leave the decision makers local, and we're going to continue to do that even with this South State merger.
Nice.
And you can still bank across states. Can you bank across state lines when this is finished?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. So we're already in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, but now we'll be all the way up through to Virginia. So when you're traveling north on your way to New England or New York, you can still stop in Virginia and find a South State bank and be able to put your ATM card in the thing and have it work. So
and not have a fee.
Nice.
And no fees. That'd be nice.
Wow, that's good to know. Yeah. Very cool. And you primarily work as a business bank, though, right?
That's correct.
But you do a lot more than just that.
We do. So we all came from the Gulfstream Business Bank model, which started in 1999. We're specifically bankers for operating companies, country clubs, associations, professionals, not really a retail model at all. But when Center State came in and bought us in 2014, they introduced a lot of the retail products that we didn't have. So it was kind of a perfect marriage at that point. And from there, everything's just grown. So our product availability has expanded as the state's done so well, both on the retail side and the business banking side. So it's been a lot of fun over the last several years.
Yeah, and you've been with the bank how many years?
Oh gosh, like 16 years or something. Yes.
And Amy, how long?
13.
13. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a lot of turnover in banking.
Yeah.
Typically, if you go to one of the big banks out there, you will find there's a lot of turnover. If you get to know one teller for a long period of time, that's rare.
Right.
So, but with us, the entire bank's like that. Everyone in our lobby's been there for 15, 20 years. Our tellers have all been there a while. We just, I think it really says something about the culture at Center State.
And the national big bank outfits, they kind of want you to use your phone and your computer at home and take pictures of, your deposits and I mean, very little interpersonal relationships.
Right. And we can't deny the fact that technology is, I'm going to eventually be replaced by Alexa. I can deal with that. It's no problem.
But can she dance?
I'll talk to Dr. Griff about this if I ever have problems with it.
All right.
But, and that's what South State brings to the table is the technology that we just don't have. But yeah, at Center State, we have this, we have a culture of working with relationships and people dealing with people. And ultimately, people just want to work with a person and get something done.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Because I used to be, when Harbor Community, we were talking about this just before we started, and I liked them because they were local, they were small, and everybody knew me. And all the tellers knew me by name. I'd drive through, everything's fine. And then when you guys bought them out, all of them are still there. So
Sure.
that's even though the sign has changed, everything else is pretty much the same,
Sure.
So,
Sure.
which
Same
is-
familiar faces.
which is nice. I think a lot of people like the personal
Yes.
banking. I remember when we first moved down here, my parents bought the business. They bought it with a handshake with a guy from, I think it was Port Salerno National Bank at the time. That was before Florida National Bank. That was before whatever they got, 5 branches later,
Sure.
five purchases later. And so, yeah, I think people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they like the convenience too of being able to do stuff, my kids especially. Like it's generational probably.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
Who likes to snap a picture and, okay, now my deposit's in there. It's like, okay, it's kind of cool.
So you'll be able to do both with this merger. So that's good. And you can even do that now on our app. You can take a picture of a check. If you don't want to come see me or Amy, our smiling faces at the branch, you can snap a picture. But South State will continue to expand on that technology.
Right. But if you're old like I am, you like the notion of being able to take this piece of paper and then you get a receipt, you get another piece of paper back, and it says that this money is now in your account. I like that. And it's tangible. It's, it's,
Sure.
the whole,
It's because we're old, Frank.
I'm a analog guy in a digital world.
We are.
You
We have like 1 foot in each.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
Our kids are
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Our kids are fully digital.
Second, yes.
Sure.
And who
And the
knows-
grandkids,
oh,
forget about it.
They'll do it like subliminally or something,
yeah.
psychologically. They'll just
Yeah.
think about their deposit, putting it in there, and it'll go on.
Telepathy app for
Yeah.
South State coming soon to a bank near you.
Just imagine $3,000 in my account.
Right? Ooh, nice.
Got to back it up though.
Oh, yeah.
So what other new and exciting stuff is there?
Well, Center State has a culture of giving back. I mean, that's really what this bank does well. We don't just take your deposits and just make loans. We're out there in the community. We see what's happening, and there's nobody I can think of better throughout this area than Amy. Amy really heads up a lot of the volunteer projects. I've said it before. If you haven't volunteered with Amy, you're just not doing something right out there in the community. So
Thanks, Randy.
so the good news is we've done really well, and so our management says, hey, go out and volunteer, spend your time, get involved, and Amy and I would like to talk a little bit about that today too.
Yeah.
Definitely. We have a couple of things coming up that we would like to talk about. Like Randy said, George Haley is our leader.
Our leader.
And he is very much about the community and how we can get involved in the community. And the first thing I wanted to talk about that's coming up, Gulfstream and now Center State have been involved with the Stewart Air Show since 1999. They believe that it is a part of our community, and they're throwing a fundraiser on March 6th at the Witham Field Sky Blue Jet Aviation Hangar. And that event is 100% of the proceeds will go to support the Stewart Air Show in November and the future of the show. So we're definitely looking for people to come and enjoy. It's a USO themed 1940s party. So we would like
That
everybody to
sounds fun.
come out and be a part of that. There's sponsorship opportunities, as well as you can just buy a ticket to the event, and the tickets are running for $125. And there will be tons of food, an open bar, music,
Nice.
raffle
like fun.
items, lots of fun things to do that night.
And 40s music.
40s music, yes.
They had
Nice.
music in the 40s?
I think they did. I think it was called Swing.
Oh, swing. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I heard a commercial about that. I think on the radio just
Oh, you did?
yeah,
Oh,
something
good.
about that just the other day because it's
That's
like, oh,
great.
okay, because they talked about how it cost $100,000 minimum or so to put on the air show.
It's actually $1 million.
$1 million. I'm sorry. Yeah, $1 million.
100,000 would
Yeah,
be great.
that'll be nice. No,
but
it's,
yeah.
as I was saying, it's like wrong number. It was
Yes,
$1 million.
It's very expensive to put on the air show.
Yes.
Our acts alone probably around 150, 180,000 to bring them into town.
That's
Mhm.
it costs money to bring in talent.
Correct.
Yeah, it's
We also, I don't know how much time we have, but Center State's been involved with Relay for Life for many years, and that event will kick off as usual on April 4th at Memorial Park. and we're always looking to, get people involved with that event. We're looking for survivors to sign up. We really want to treat the survivors and their caregivers, with a great night, and we will have catering by Riverwalk as usual. I think they've done it now for 3 or 4 years. So that's
Always
a
does a
nice
great
dinner.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're a survivor of cancer or you're a caregiver, please reach out to the Relay for Life of Martin County. You can find us on Facebook or our website, and we're always looking for people to get involved with Relay for Life. We actually have a team, and we'll be there all day supporting.
All night.
Yes. Well, actually, it's from 2 to 10 this year.
Okay.
We're
That's
not
the-
going all night.
That's the thing. We've kind of adopted the moniker, the Festival of Hope, because
Yeah.
it did. People would get confused. That we would get a lot. Oh, is that where you walk all night on the
Yeah.
track? And it's like, well, I guess that was part of it, but that was never really the whole thing. And so
Right.
now with this whole Festival of Hope, it's from 2 to 10. You won't find yourself wandering a track at 3 a.m.
Right.
And you're still doing something great in the community. So
Right.
Is
Good.
there a-
And you, by compressing the time, you compress the interest too.
Correct.
I think. Yeah. Good.
Hope so.
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
and is there a fee to attend that?
No fee to get into. Actually, I'm sorry. It's a $5 admission to come into the Festival of Hope this year.
And what sort of stuff?
It's a
That-
double latte.
yeah,
Right.
that's one.
There will be
Yeah.
food
It's on
trucks,
Starbucks.
performances, Florida aerial dancers, Nouveau honkies
Oh, the
will
Nouveau
be
honkies.
performing from 7 to 9.
Those guys are great.
Yes,
Mhm.
there will be a car show.
the kids will be able to paint the police car.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
they love that.
Oh,
I
okay.
do love that.
Lots of fun
yes.
things for the
Mhm.
kids to do. I think last year we brought out the what's the group that has those animals? The wildlife. sanctuary.
Wildlife. That wild
That group.
bunch. That wild bunch.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is. And it's for a great cause. I think all of us know someone who's battling cancer,
Oh, yeah.
has battled cancer,
Yeah.
and it's just a great cause.
All right, April 4th. Mark it on your calendars,
Mhm.
people.
Mhm.
Yes.
Be a
Thank
good time. $5. Don't buy a Starbucks that day.
Right.
Exactly.
Repurpose that $5.
Exactly. Or just reach behind your sofa in the cushions, get some quarters
You
there,
might get more than $5.
and then reach between your reach between your driver's seat and the console. There's got to be 75 cents to $1 there. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
That'll be fun.
I like it.
If I'm in town, I'm going to come.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do that. And
There you go.
so don't forget, you've got the 40s night.
Salute to Stewart. March 6th.
Look for that. That'll put you in the mood.
Good stuff.
We are back trying to put you in the mood with Glenn Miller and the song In the Mood. A little bit of thought went into that.
You're working on your radio DJ voice there.
Yeah.
Like I noticed. In the mood.
You like that? It takes years to cultivate
It
that.
does.
You know?
You got to work. You got to get up to the
Get that
microphone.
gravitas.
Right.
I've had people approach me in public that see me for the first time. They hear my voice and they go, I know you. You sound taller on the radio.
Well,
Yeah, all right. It is what it is.
you don't have to be tall to be on the radio.
No, that's the
You
beautiful
just have to
part.
be able to talk.
You have to be tall to play basketball.
No, not anymore. Not as
Really?
much. It's
Really?
not as much as a tall man's game as it used to be.
Really?
I mean, look at Steph Curry's not very tall. A lot of the other Isaiah Thomas, the young Isaiah Thomas, he's not. There's some short kids.
All right. There's hope for me yet, huh? Just
Well-
have to work on my jump shot.
Yeah, you might have some mobility problems. I'm thinking a little bit.
Yeah, it's the broken. I only have one wheel. I broke my foot last year, so I only have one wheel. But Randy's got more than one wheel.
That's right. Randy
And
has
he
been
is-
known to use both feet in a
Yes.
very interesting way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't
Yes.
have to talk about it if you
Well,
don't
we,
want to,
we,
but
we
we can.
certainly can. Like Amy and I were talking about, the bank always supports anything that we want to get involved with. Ah, yes.
A little Dancing with the
There
Stars.
you go.
Randy was one of the stars on Dancing with the Martin Stars, so he's an alumni.
Yes, yes, and I don't know if anyone's seen on social media. There has been a lot of talk about an alumni. There's been a casting call to the alumni, so more to come on that, I'm sure.
Nice.
But
How did you do?
well, straight eights from a banker is probably the best you're ever going to
That's
get.
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah,
That's impressive.
it.
I
Yeah.
don't think I could do that.
No, it's horrifying when you're up there. It really takes you out of your element, but it's such a great cause. Martin County Healthy Start. I serve on the board there. They do just amazing stuff. So I was happy to be able to help them raise money.
Have they done that more than 1 year?
Oh, they've done it. This will be the 10th year.
Oh, wow.
They've done
Okay.
it. So they've really done well.
So who won the year you did it?
So Dr. Brian Moriarty. He was amazing. First of all, the guy raised an awful lot of money, a lot more than I did. And then he just killed it up there on stage. I wanted to boo him, but I couldn't because I was just so happy over all the money he'd raised. But so he won that year. He really did a nice job.
That would be fun. I wouldn't want to do it. I'd be fun to watch, I think. I wouldn't want to put myself through that.
It's a great event. It's always a sellout, but John,
it's
we'll
at
make
the
a
Lyric.
space for you if you'd like.
It's at the Lyric, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Lyric does a fine job of
Mhm.
hosting that. It's the night in Stewart. It's just so much fun. I've gone the years after that. So
How long ago did you do it?
was it 3 years ago? I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I
When-
remember
and
when
when is
you
it?
were here as a contestant and you were on Julia's
Yes,
show.
Julia had me on it. Yeah. I
Mhm. And
remember
she
that.
was also a contestant as well that year.
Yes, it's funny. There's so many great people that are alumni that have competed in that.
Mhm.
Julia being one of them. Dr. Brian. There's just so many people that that's such a great cause.
And who were the pros to counteract?
They
the
bring them in from all
amateurs?
over the
All
local
over.
area.
Yeah. If Fred Astaire usually has one or two. My poor dancer was Megan Acosta. So I'll tell you just a little story here. The year after we do it, okay. So when she meets me, we meet at the dance studio. Okay. She looks at me and she says, "We're going to win the Mirror Ball trophy." And she gives me the double high five, and I go, okay. I mean, clearly she doesn't know that I have two left feet. Did I mention I was a banker? I mean, the odds of winning something, not good. So, we're going on and on. We're going through all of our practices, and eventually it's the night of the show, John. It's the night of the show. Everybody's excited. And she turns to me and she says, "We're going to have fun." And I knew at that point that I
That's
had
funny.
maybe let her down a little bit. But then she proceeded to tell me afterwards that it was going to be the last time that she was doing this, that she was going to move on from dancing and go to be a realtor. And I thought I was the straw that broke the camel's back.
You broke the dancer, Randy.
That's it. But thankfully, she did come back to the stage and ended up winning a Mirror Ball trophy with someone the next year. So
Okay.
clearly a more adequate dancer than I was.
That's got to be so hard
Clearly, yeah.
because you don't have much time to do this, do you?
Oh no, I mean,
It's about 6 or 8 weeks, right?
well, yeah, it starts in like May and the event is late September. So you've got, you've probably got 24 practices, and it sounds like a lot, but
No, that's not a lot.
yeah, I mean,
That's not a lot.
to do a good 90-second dance. It's it's a lot of fun.
That's fun. I will come and watch one of these years.
Yeah.
I only managed to drop her once. So
Only once.
just once. Minor bruises.
I watched 1, 2 of the seasons of The Real Show on TV when they first started. It was sort of interesting. Like, okay, this seems interesting. And it was kind of fun to watch the celebrities, fumble and stumble, and some of the good ones who were just, wow, that's pretty talented. So it was fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we have another 20 some odd minutes. We can.
Well, I thought I'd talk about interest rates for the next 20 some odd minutes. What's more exciting than that?
How about
yield
10 minutes,
curves?
then we'll take a break. But let's talk interest rates.
Take a break and run screaming from the room.
No, our quarter of the hour break.
Why don't we talk about where our branches are locally?
Ah, that's a
or
great
maybe
idea,
around
Amy.
town?
See, Amy's on the ball.
We have a branch in Stewart, Palm City, Indiantown, Jupiter, and then we can move up to the St. Lucie region in St. Lucie County, right on US 1 in Port St. Lucie, downtown Fort Pierce, St. Lucie West.
Don't forget about down south, where we
Down
have one
south.
in Jupiter. We
Yeah.
have one on Indiantown Road in Jupiter. We have one in Palm Beach Gardens on
Mhm.
Military Trail.
Mhm.
So we're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Yes.
We're watching.
We're everywhere. You're like Google. You're
We're
everywhere.
everywhere.
I love it. Very good.
Well, you brought it up. Talk about interest rates then.
Oh,
Yes.
geez.
Oh gosh. So I mean, just interest rates continue to be strong. They're just low. Money is very inexpensive. Prime is still 4.75%. It's part of what's keeping this economy so strong. I mean, it's great. Everybody's numbers are great, and interest rates just continue to stay low. So access to money is there. It's really, really a good time, and especially in the Florida economy, just very good.
And who
Doesn't
doesn't?
Center State have a lot of great products for all kinds of people? I know we do lots of things for police officers. We have discounts.
Community
and
hero
community
accounts.
heroes
Yes.
accounts. Yes, I think that's pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know too much about the community hero
Neither
accounts.
do I.
I didn't.
You know it exists.
But I
we-
thought they were pretty cool.
They are cool. Anything that will be good for the community
Yes.
heroes, like police officers and firefighters.
Mhm.
But we do have a product that, if it kind of fits all the right and checks all the right boxes, we can get you a decision in as little as 48 hours, and we can get you documents within 24 hours after you supply everything to us that we ask for, like insurance and stuff like that. So as we grow, we expand these product offerings that are more convenient. We just try to make it convenient and have quick turnaround time for our customers. So just more of that coming in the future as well. I talked a little bit about it this morning at the meeting. A line of credit that I can get you an answer on in 48 hours. I think that's pretty cool that the bank's doing.
And one thing people might not know, that we do have a full service brokerage department, wealth management at Center State Bank.
I don't know as much about that as you do, I'm sure. Would you like to go ahead and maybe
Well,
chime
we
in
have
on
all
that?
kinds of products like IRAs, we can do 401ks, health insurance, wrong one. Life insurance, all kinds of great products we have that for people who are interested in giving us their money. We would love it. Chris Rankin is, he's been in the business for many years. He's our financial advisor locally in Martin County, and I support him and a few other advisors.
He's so great. I have Chris sit with some of my clients, and you think about those. It seems like it would just be a terrible meeting to just kind of just talk about investments. It's like sitting talking on the radio about interest rates. But he just makes it so comfortable. I mean, there's no like hard sales pitch. At some point I was thinking to myself, are we just going to go ahead and close this up, Chris? But no, I mean, there was multiple meetings, and he drills down to exactly what the client needs.
Yeah, he's a really
for their
great
life.
guy.
Yep.
Really great
And
guy.
he's right at your office.
He is. You can just come visit us on 2400 Southeast Monterey Road. We're right across from the county admin building, and right down the street from Park Drugs.
Mhm.
Yep. That's right. Was it Pete Navarrete it talks about the fact that they're right next door.
Mhm.
This is like the central landmark, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. for that area.
What, the
I love
admin
it.
building or the drugstore?
The park, yeah, folks.
Parks.
Yeah.
They've been around forever too.
Yes. I think family-owned business.
I
still.
believe so.
Mhm.
They've been there almost maybe even longer than I've been here.
Wow.
I'm not sure. That's a long time.
That is a long time. So, I mean, but you came here as a kid, screaming and kicking.
I was screaming and kicking. I was a teenager. I was 16, but yeah, I was not.
Yeah.
I was not thrilled to be
Right.
transplanted to Martin County in 1978 when you're 16 years old. It was not quite as
Was
much.
there anything here?
Not much. No, there's some flower farms on US 1
That's what I've heard.
and
Yeah.
Monterey,
Right.
and maybe 7 or 8 traffic lights between here and Fort Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot. Not even a Big Apple Pizza came shortly after that.
Oh, yeah.
The Martin Square Mall.
Mm-hmm. That was, yes.
Yeah, so
You
no,
guys
there-
don't even know Martin.
There
Mall.
wasn't much here at all.
Where is the Martin Square?
The Martin Square Mall was on the corner of Indian Street and US 1.
Mall? Oh, okay.
And it
Kind of
is-
where the same plaza where Staples is now.
Mhm.
And
Right.
there was nothing. There was not a whole lot.
No, then
Here.
that whole structure got repurposed because then the mall just kind of broke apart and to do different things. And then across the street, across Indian, that was the Walmart, believe it or not.
Oh, that was later.
Yes,
That
later.
was later.
la-
That
much
was
later.
not in 78.
Because during 78, it was La Pavillon.
La Fonda?
No, La Pavillon was the French.
Yeah, was it La Fonda or
no,
La Pavillon?
Pavillon.
Okay, it was
yeah.
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 One of the 4 restaurants in town.
Yes.
Sambo's being one of them.
And the French guy that owned it was interesting in that he would only be here during season. And then during the off season, he would go back to France. And he would explain that the reason why you do that is so he can bone up on new recipes he can bring back with him.
Well, plus, there was nobody here anyway.
Right.
So,
That's exactly right.
yeah, there was
Mhm.
5 of us left.
yeah. Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
What a big difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Huge.
gotten it's
Huge.
gotten crazy.
What was I'm trying to remember? It was either Salerno Road or Cove Road. One of those roads was a dirt road back then.
Salerno was Snake Road was
Snake
all
Road.
was like a almost, it was so beat up it was almost like a really bad cobblestone road for some of
And
it.
that's why it got named Snake Road because it was kind of a meandering
Yeah.
road.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's been quite the chase. There was like I said a few banks. It was a weird and wild time. Not so wild, actually.
It's true enough. True enough. All right. Well, we're going to go out with the money song.
I've got 90,000 pounds in my pajamas. I've got 40,000 French francs in my fridge. I've got lots of lovely lira now. The Deutschmark's getting dearer.
All right. So
and my
stick
dollar
with us.
bills
We'll
are
have much
buying
more to
the-
entertain you with when we
There is
return.
nothing quite as wonderful as money. There is nothing quite as beautiful as cash. Some people say it's folly, but I'd rather have the lolly. With money you can make a splash. There is
We are back. That was a very quick.
What happened, Frank?
I don't know. Something went awry. I have to tinkle on my ivories here. So
Don't,
take
don't tinkle
Please
like
don't.
that.
Oh, yeah.
so take
If
it
you're
away,
gonna do
John.
that, if you're gonna do that, just turn off the video
All right,
camera.
yeah.
please.
Take it away.
Oh, that's funny. Well, live music, live radio stuff happens. You know, you
My
just gotta-
boss calls it the magic of radio.
you just gotta roll with it.
Just a skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were wondering about what we were going to talk about for the last 10 or so minutes.
I was thinking maybe we could talk about a group that Amy and I are both involved with, Leaders United. A few years ago, with a few friends, we pieced a group together that supports the United Way and goes out and does things like feeding people at the Salvation Army or maybe it's what they call gleaning, where they're cleaning maybe the Boys and Girls Club or painting, whatever's needed around the community. It's a group of like-minded people that want to volunteer in their community, want to know people that will help them grow their business, and don't want to be volunteering next to someone who's been court ordered to be next to them. Somebody who chooses to volunteer, it's a lot of fun to meet people like that.
That's true.
And our latest endeavor, we will be feeding at the Salvation Army again, I think on March 13th, if I'm right. I have no notes, so I'm going right off the top of my head. But the big thing that I've been put in charge of, I can't believe people still put me in charge of anything, John, to be honest, is the project graduation. Now, for those listeners that can remember, a couple of years back, I actually did the 24 hours a day for 3 straight days. Maybe Frank remembers. 72 hours without sleep was interesting. Yeah. So I've reached out. We've put together some people from Leaders United to support it this year and come out to one of the shifts and just stay all night and help out as the high school students celebrate their graduation. The Tykes and Teens has been nice enough to give them a spot to safely celebrate graduation,
right?
And keep any kind of fatalities, just make that just not a thing, make it non-existent.
That's
we also have a lunch and learn coming up on Friday, and if you would like more information about that, you can go to Leaders United's Facebook page. But we have lunch and learns 4 times a year that Randy and I love attending, as well as, like you said, those community projects are always interesting and fun to do. And if you have any interest in becoming a part of the Leaders United group, please find me at the bank, or you can reach out on our Facebook page at Leaders United.
Well, tell us about the lunch and learn. What's that all about?
Well, I knew you were going to say that, and you were going to put me on the spot. I know his last name is Glenn. What's his first name?
So John Glenn.
John Glenn. That is John Glenn.
Okay. That is someone who's a member. It's her father-in-law. An interesting guy.
Yes.
So he will speak, and there'll be a question and answer. They always bring someone to the table that you'd want to get close and ask a question. Maybe it's a local politician. Maybe it's somebody with some local expertise that you learn something that day, and you get to ask a question that you otherwise would never have gotten to ask. It's a unique experience.
Yes,
for sure.
It is.
And, think about our group, the Martin County Business Exchange group. And it's not about walking in that room and getting leads. It's a lot of times it's giving leads. It's knowing when somebody is out there in the community and says, hey, who's a good pest control company? And I know, well, it's Travis. Or who's a good property management company? That's Signature Property Management. Who's a good moving company? Hey, you didn't think I was going to get there, did you, John?
No, it's okay.
But it's not about getting the leads. It's about knowing the right people to give leads to. And Leaders United also gives us that opportunity as well. We get to know people. We're out there volunteering with them. We see them. They're accountable to us, and we can rest assured that if we give a lead from Leaders United, they're going to follow up.
Are they all local?
Well said.
Is it all local? The Leaders United?
Yes.
Okay.
It's through the United Way of Martin County.
Okay, that's good. It's good. It's a good organization.
Yes. What else?
I had a couple come in the Flagler yesterday from Michigan, just kind of wandering through. People come just wander by our building there at the Flagler and rattle the door. So I happened to be in and got a chance to visit with them. And they said, oh, we're from Michigan. And we're just kind of curious. And they says, we may want to move to Stewart. Do you know a realtor? Oh, I just happen to have a copy of the book,
right,
on the counter. And I said, well, David Derenbacher might be a good person for you to talk to.
Yep.
So, Waterpoint Realty, and gave that to this lovely couple from Michigan. And I expect that David will be hearing from them. So that's kind of neat.
If they look through they'll look through the book, they'll see all sorts of stuff that they will need to get down here. Once they're down here, all sorts of stuff. So,
all right.
And then they could be financed at Center State Bank.
2400 Southeast Monterey Road,
Yes.
right in Stewart.
Got the plug in.
Yeah. Well,
It's your hour, guys. Make the most of it. Remember, there's tens of people listening. Just kidding. We know there's lots more out there, I think. So aside
If you
from,
want to find out how many just really mess up,
I know,
bad.
I'm surprised no one
Anyway.
called about, what just happened.
The tinkling on the ivories.
Mhm. That and yeah.
Next time we're on, we're going to give something away and see how many callers we can get in here.
Yes.
Calling in.
Yes.
Let's make it exciting.
We haven't had anybody give away anything on the air.
Should we be giving away free samples from the bank?
Yeah.
We got a lot of calls for
We
that.
won't say what kind of samples,
Right.
but we can, yes.
You've got pens.
Yes.
A night out with Randall.
Well, there you go.
Dancing.
Oh
Right.
gosh, yeah.
A waltz.
Yes.
Dinner and
Or a
dancing.
cha-cha.
Mhm.
That was fun. That was fun.
Well, what kind of dance did you do, Randy?
For some reason she thought I would be good with a quick step, and
Oh.
I definitely was not. But we got through it, and nobody got injured too
So
badly.
what?
No one got hurt.
Those of us who are uninitiated. What is a quick step?
I don't know.
Okay.
I basically put my feet where she told me to put them,
All right.
and I got through it.
And if you do it again, do you have to do the same dance?
No.
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 In
Oh,
fact, with their 10-year alumni show, what's going to be so interesting about this year
Mhm.
is that they're going to pair stars with stars. So there will not be
Oh.
some dance teacher
Oh, that should be
that
interesting.
will be able to get you through. No, you will have to get through it. You're on your
oh
own.
my gosh.
Wow. That's it. That's ambitious.
Interesting
Yeah.
twist.
That's
That
ambitious
is a
of them.
twist. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not. I don't think they do the twist. I
No.
think they do the cha-cha, the salsa, the
Yeah.
waltz, perhaps.
Right. Little
Quick
chubby
step.
checker. Yeah. No.
No twist.
No. Okay.
Well, we can always talk about cartoons, which we usually
can.
we default to that when we don't have.
Normally,
What kind of cartoons?
Oh,
well,
anything. We just
before
talk
we-
about
Like
cartoons.
Snoopy?
We haven't talked about. We
comics?
haven't talked TV cartoons,
Oh, okay.
but we haven't talked about Peanuts cartoons
Okay.
so much.
Okay.
Well, we should have because we, especially around the holidays, we should have talked about It's the Great
Peanuts
Pumpkin,
Christmas.
Charlie Brown.
There's nothing
and-
better than those holiday
right.
peanuts.
No.
What I like to do, but when we go on break, and I didn't do it this time, is do this.
Are we
And
actually-
now,
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
again,
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
So I always like doing that before we go out to break, but didn't manage to do it this time.
Did you do it this time?
Well, not really, because we're not going out on break just yet. But
Because
yeah,
we messed up the break.
yes,
How did that happen?
it's just
I think it was the Russians
it could. Well, yes,
or the Ukraine.
Ukrainians.
One
yeah,
of those. It's
yeah.
I think so. We should investigate
There-
that. We should
there's-
call a special prosecutor to come in and investigate why that.
Yeah, well,
happened.
they're not working right now,
Right?
so they're available. So I guess all their.
I think they're gearing up for something else, though. Even though they lost,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so too.
they're not going to leave that guy alone until he's either not president or
Hmm.
dead.
Right. I think you're right.
So
I agree with that. It seems to be the process.
did you watch any of the State of the Union last night?
I really did not. I've been watching little sound bites, throughout the day, and because they're generally pretty good about distilling it down to some
Yeah.
really magic moments. Like,
Right? Exactly.
Oh
She
yes,
just
we saw that. Yes, yes.
When that happened, I was like, I did not just see that.
Wasn't
I
that
was like,
awful?
that had to have been.
That was the
I must have
best.
dozed off or
It's like,
blanked out or something.
Really?
That was awesome. I
Yeah.
thought.
Of course, when I
That reminds me of that guy Ferguson, that talk show. He's in a late show, Ferguson. But people, when guests would come to sit down at the desk, right, for the interview, he'd have 3x5 file cards with notes on it. He would always rip it up just as they sat down, and then it's okay. I'm just forget about my notes. We're just going to talk.
Yeah,
But-
I was shocked. Well, I was also actually kind of stunned that he snubbed
Didn't
her.
shake her hand.
On
Yeah,
the,
at the
it's like,
beginning.
all right, okay, at least
They're all children.
they are. They really are. It's like, come on, be the bigger man.
Yeah, right.
Shake her hand and then get acquitted tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then you
You're
win.
right.
Right.
So, but
Whatever.
yeah, it's fun to talk about.
Kids.
Kids.
Spoiled brat, petulant kids
Yeah.
Yes.
who don't like people messing with their toys.
Right. I know it.
We
Yeah.
need term reform for the Senate and the House. We need term reform for everybody else.
I think so.
Term limits for sure.
Well, the Senate used to be appointed by the respective states. as opposed to an elected position.
Yep. You
And
go and
only in recent U.S. history is it an elected position. A lot of people don't realize that.
you go serve your couple of years. You go back to your community, back to where you were. It wasn't a money maker.
That's
career.
exactly
Just,
what it was.
yep,
Yes,
serve the country and then get it.
that
get
was
home.
what our framers intended.
Oh well.
Well, and we intend to get out of here so you can get on with the rest of your evening. And
Randy, Amy, it was nice talking to you so
yes.
much.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
us on.
us. Yes.
Frank, we've wasted another perfectly good hour on the radio.
we'll be back next week to do it all over again. Good night.